Yeah, so the next Cronenberg I have is History of Violence. I don't know what kind of body horror is in that, but I'm not sure
Wait,
because it's
history
about
like Viggo Mortensen and Maria
yeah,
Bello?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's body horror in that. That
I don't
one's
think
just
there
kind
is,
of a
but it's
disturbing story about like domestic violence.
yeah, but it's Cronenberg, so it's on the list. And Vigo's in the new film. I
Wait,
think he's the lead.
Vigo? You mean
Yeah.
like from Ghostbusters? Oh, Viggo Mortensen. Never
Yes.
mind. Yeah, I didn't.
Yes, that.
Okay.
Yes, the one you had just referenced, not the one
Yeah, no.
in the franchise reference before this conversation.
We were also talking about Ghostbusters. I'm sorry. It gets a little confusing sometimes. We say Vigo 1, Vigo 2. It's Vigo, you know?
The Vigo. I'm
Vigo.
walking here.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Bright Guy and Super Friends. I'm your host, Brian Labick. Joining me for this episode is someone that's the oldest of our group, so I think we should start calling him Oldie One Kenobi, Andy Stolz.
What's up, podcast people?
Next up, he's got his bong ready for the High Republic, Mike Bradley.
I've got my what ready?
Bong.
Oh, I get it. Puns.
You're welcome. And finally, someone that on that first Death Star somewhere hit a googly eye, Ian Leidick.
Is Black Adam the new Morbin time? Welcome to my TED Talk.
No, it is not. God damn it. You did it again, you son of a bitch.
Every episode.
I thought we were over the Morbin time bullshit.
No, it's back in theaters now, bitches.
I hate it so much.
What about the Mighty Morbin Power Rangers?
No, don't even you start to.
I thought about that. I was going to sing the song and change it to Morbin.
Oh, God damn it. I hate everything about this so far. Andy, I know it's been a while since you've been here, and
Yes,
you
it
missed
has.
the episode that we were trying to save for you, the Red Sonja one.
I know, I was going to watch that too.
Have you gotten any feedback from your coworker, the one that was really hyped for that episode for some reason?
I have no idea. He hasn't said anything. I've been
Too afraid to ask.
I've been talking to him all week and he hasn't said anything. So
He's boycotting because you're not on that one. I think that's why.
it could be. I'll have to ask him.
All right, so we got plenty of stuff to try to cover recently. Obviously, I think we're a little behind on some stuff. One thing we haven't yet covered on the show is Star Wars Celebration and the announcements and reveals that came from that convention. So Star Wars Celebration is the big Star Wars convention that happens. Sometimes it's annually, sometimes it's every other year. I can't really keep track of when they decide to do it annually and take a break in between. But it hasn't been in person for a few years thanks to COVID. So I think the last in-person one was 2019 in Chicago, which is actually the one that I attended with Leslie and Paula. We did episodes on it when we were there. I don't know if that's still in the catalog somewhere, but that happened. And then Mike and I actually went to Celebration in 2017. That was Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool too. If you're a Star Wars fan and can make it to one of those conventions, I would definitely recommend checking it out. So Mike, I think, can vouch for some of that stuff too. It's just a really cool place to be.
From what I've seen about the improvements that they've made to Celebration since we were there, where now it's like a lottery and you don't have to wait 18 hours in line to get into a goddamn
Oh yeah, the
panel.
overnight line stuff. Yeah.
Now they've improved, like the quality of life improvements they have made to Star Wars Celebration definitely make it worthwhile to go. Waiting for 18 hours in line, it was an experience. Brian got
memorable one way or the other.
Well, I mean, you got to meet Ryan Johnson out of it.
Correct.
I did. Like, it was that bad at that point. I just didn't give enough of a shit because he showed up at like 1 a.m. or something like that, and it was like, I'm not getting up right now to go wait in another line to get close to Ryan Johnson. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, it's not.
You gotta wait in that line to let him know he ruined Star Wars.
He hadn't ruined Star Wars at that point.
Yeah, at the
But you
time
knew
That
No,
movie
we all
hadn't
knew,
released.
right?
We all that we knew at the time was that he was the director of Last Jedi.
Yeah,
Okay?
the ruiner.
And even if you think he ruined it, which I don't, I still think Last Jedi is probably the second best film, but that's another discussion.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you on that one. I will fight that battle with anybody.
It's
I-
gone.
Again, it's all opinion. There is no objective
Empire,
fact.
Clone Wars, Return of the Jedi. All better.
Clone Wars, like Attack of the Clones, episode 2.
Yeah.
Is your number 2.
Uh-huh.
All right,
Oh,
he's
God,
just
we
being a
can't get
troll
into that
right
discussion.
now. That's
Yeah,
just...
we rein it in. Rein it in. Yeah, so this year, Star Wars Celebration was in Anaheim, California from May 26th to the 29th. There were tons of panels, announcements, interviews, all that stuff. Some of the panels were live streamed on Star Wars YouTube channel, so if you want to go back and check some of the stuff that they streamed, it's on the page. And to be clear, it's not every panel. Like, the real big ones, they did not stream live. You still had to be there at the event to see those. But some of the other panels that happened throughout the day, I know they did like a 20th anniversary Attack of the Clones panel, so there's one for you, Ian. That was YouTubed. That's on there. They did a lot of interviews with people that were on the panels. They have a stage typically on the show floor where they have people come on stage, get interviewed in front of everybody. So that a lot of that stuff was streamed. But there's some cool stuff there. So if you want to go back and check out all the announcements and stuff, it's all there. So what this episode is going to be, we're going to try to cover some of the stuff, announcements, trailers, and stuff that came out of that show. Some of these guys were not following along with those announcements, so I'm presenting this stuff to them for the first time. So we'll see what they think. I'm going to try to treat this as the format of our headline episode, so we'll try to cover some of the announcements quickly, just get some quick thoughts from these guys, and we'll try to keep it moving. At the end, we're going to talk about some of the trailers that came out, just because it's a little bit more to dive into, I guess. So we'll see if we have anything else to touch on for those. So kicking us off, the first big panel of the Star Wars Celebration was the actually Lucasfilm panel. It was not just Star Wars stuff. It was covering everything from Lucasfilm. So they had some other surprises in there too. For one of the trailers that they debuted, first one they debuted was Andor. We'll talk about that one later. The next one they had up was for a series called Willow that is coming to Disney Plus. And we got a release date for that. So the series starts on Disney Plus on November 30th. Other than the trailer, which we're not going to get into the trailer here, but we'll just take maybe some quick thoughts from these guys. I think Andy's pretty excited for the show, at least.
I'm very excited. I actually went out, and I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not, but Chris Claremont wrote 3 Willow sequel books after the actual movie of Willow.
As in, like, X-Men writer Chris Claremont?
Yep, he and George Lucas
Yeah.
sort of like collaborated to do this trilogy that takes place after Willow. I'm just curious whether or not what happens in the books. I'm curious whether or not the series takes after the books or if it's just entirely new content.
Gotcha. Okay. Mike, you excited for the trailer? Or for the series?
I mean, I love the first movie. So, yes, I'm excited to see what they do. Yeah, we'll see where it goes from here. And, I mean, if it stays true to what it was, it should be good.
Ian, anything for the Willow trailer?
It's foppish, Conan. Pass.
Everything. Conan is the bar for you now, isn't it? After all the Conan movies and Red Sonja.
Exactly.
It's been a while since I've seen Willow. I really probably should rewatch the Willow movie to prep for this, so I got a little bit of time before I have to sit down and watch it. But the fantasy genre isn't typically something that we get a lot of on Disney Plus. So I'm curious to see how it goes with the show and what they do with it. So I am excited also.
I feel like that movie stands up as well, so I feel like you'll enjoy your rewatch of it.
Yeah, it's like I have vague memories of it, but I couldn't tell you what happened, like what the story was, because it's been that long. But
Andre the Giant is on a quest.
Okay, let's
No,
just stop
completely
here.
different
That's-
movie. Oh, jeez.
Amy and I rewatched it like last fall, and yeah, Andy's right, 100%. It holds up. It
Nice,
still
all right.
stands as a quality movie, and there wasn't really anything I felt watching it that was like, oh, that's cheesy compared to now. Like, it all
Yeah.
looked good practically,
good to know.
And Mad Mardigan still rules.
even if he can't speak these days. He can.
Oh yeah.
R.I.P. Val Kilmer.
He's still
He's
alive.
still alive. All right, next up, we all assumed season 3 of The Mandalorian was happening. We have an official release window, not a specific date, but a window. So the 3rd season of The Mandalorian will premiere in February of 2023. They did show a trailer for season 3 at the panel, but it has not been officially released online yet. So I'm sure if you really want to dig around for it, you can find it. There's probably bootlegs of it somewhere. But before we talk about it, we're waiting for the official release on YouTube or something like that. So Once it's released, we'll talk about it. Other than that, it's out there if you want to seek it out. Next up, a few weeks ago, it was reported that Spider-Man Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home director John Watts was backing out of directing Marvel's upcoming Fantastic Four movie to take a bit of a break. And then a week later, it was reported he's working on a Star Wars series. So this panel officially announced Star Wars Skeleton Crew, which is a show created and executive produced by John Watts and writer Chris Ford, who worked together on all 3 of the Spider-Man movies. They've described the show as the story about a group of kids about 10 years old from a little tiny planet who accidentally get lost in the Star Wars galaxy. It's a story of their journey trying to find their way home. And it's been said that internally, like throughout the halls of Lucasfilm, they're describing this show as a galactic version of The Goonies mixed with Stranger Things.
Huh.
And the only confirmed cast member right now at this time is Jude Law.
Known child, Jude
This
Law.
show is set to release sometime in 2023, so we don't know when, but sometime next year.
Jude Law is a Sith Lord. I'm there for if that's what we get. But
Yeah, we don't know what role he's going to be. Like, I don't know if he's going to be the one trying to protect the kids, if he's going to be one after the kids. Like, I could see it going either way. I don't know.
Jar Jar's son.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel as if he does a good job both as a hero and a villain. So
Yeah.
He's one of the rare few that can pull off both.
yeah, because he was good as the villain in the Guy Ritchie Arthur movie.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
This just feels like another one of the things they announced where they took a concept and said, what if we slap Star Wars on it?
That's the part.
Yeah.
That
You know,
makes
Stand
me
By
hesitant.
Me, Star Wars.
That's the part that makes me hesitant when they're describing it as like, oh, we're going for the Goonies mixed with Stranger Things. I'm like, couldn't you
I feel like
just
that's
do
what they
your
have to say
own
in the pitch
thing?
meeting, right? Like,
Why
I
does
feel like they
everything
have to
be
hate.
based off something else though.
But
Well, I
but
think
you
just
don't have
when
to
you-
you're not pitching that to us now. You can say that on your pitch deck, which is just a PowerPoint.
Right.
But you don't have to tell me, oh, we're doing Goonies, but it's Stranger Things, which is just Stranger Things. Let's be honest.
That's true.
Like, just say we're doing a cool thing. Cut all that shit out, or,
I'm just reporting what was said.
I'm not yelling at you.
I
Yeah,
feel
it's
like
not
you are a
you.
little
I'm
bit.
yelling at Kathleen Kennedy.
It's not even her. It's whoever pitched it that way. Like it's
John
Well, either way,
Watt, get your shit together.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably John Watts, I would imagine, that threw
Yeah.
that out there or something like that. But
now if they
Is that how
pitched
he
it
pitches
as It,
Spider-Man?
instead of Stranger Things, if they pitched it more like It and an actual horror in the Star Wars universe, I'd be 100% in.
well, they added somewhere in there, I think at the panel, I think it was the other guy, Chris Ford, that said it. Like it stars kids, but it's not for kids. So
Okay.
I think I'm interested enough to see what happens. I mean, at the very least, I don't know. I can't remember if they said what era this takes place in. I feel like I thought I heard like New Republic-ish era, so like Mandalorian-ish time frame, which
Okay.
we're getting a lot of content in that time frame. So I don't know.
So this is
Like,
just going to turn
I'm-
into Mandalorian season 4.5. when he turns
Maybe,
up.
I don't know. Everybody seems to be crossing over, and that's part of the thing that still kind of irritates me is every Star Wars thing we get makes the galaxy feel smaller. Like, I still want to go somewhere new or a different era. Like, new characters
The
is
High
good. Like,
Republic,
I'm
that's where we're going
Which-
to get that.
eventually we're going to get stuff out of there, too, and I'm very, very anxiously awaiting that
I've
stuff.
started that first book, by the way. I'm only like a chapter
Yeah, I still
in.
gotta
I don't
get
have
there.
any opinion on it yet, but I have started it.
Yeah, it's on my list of backlog shit to get through.
Then when I finish, I'll pass it off to you.
All right. But yeah, either way, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. It might not be as different as I want it to be, but at least it'll be a different change of pace with like some new characters and stuff. So I'm hoping it does some different stuff. The Lucasfilm panel ended with John Williams performing on stage, which is apparently how they do the big panels at Celebration now. So he played the Obi-Wan Kenobi theme on stage at the end of the panel, and then he went into the Indiana Jones theme, and Harrison Ford takes the stage at the end of the panel.
Oh, nice.
He wasn't there for Star Wars. He was there to announce the release date for Indiana Jones 5, which is now June 30th, 2023.
And do we have a name for it?
There's no title.
Okay.
Just Indiana Jones 5 at this point.
So yeah, so far that's what it is. He did put out an image too. I think there was James Mangold tweeted like a still image from the movie, or at least Harrison Ford on set in costume, which is enough to get me excited. So I don't know how it's gonna be with Harrison Ford being as old as he is. Like, if Crystal Skull was any indication, it might not be great, but it's not, well, not that Steven Spielberg's bad, but it's not, I don't think it's written by George Lucas this time, so I'm curious to see what the script is like and what the story is like,
They at least
having
like
not been written by
get
George.
John Turteltaub to direct it. Like the guy who directed like the National Treasure movies. Did they like cue him up?
I don't know if he was in the running. James Mangold is the one that is directing.
Well, they
He
should have
did
got the other
the
guy.
Wolverine.
The Wolverine, Logan,
Okay.
Ford versus Ferrari, I think was him also.
Never
Well,
saw that. I heard good things
I
though.
would say that's
It's a very
probably
good
his
movie.
best movie then.
Yeah.
Ford versus Ferrari is fantastic. That is 100% worth checking out. But
Yeah.
I guess for me, like Indiana Jones 5, it's like I have no faith in them at this point after the last movie. It's like they went from my opinion the best Indiana Jones movie, which is The Last Crusade, to the worst
Sure.
by not even it's not even, the other movies are good. That one is just so bad.
And I feel like they know that, so I feel like they wouldn't
They're
bring
gonna
come
retcon
back
it?
to it if they. Well, I feel like they wouldn't come back to like make another movie if they didn't think they had a good idea.
Money.
Maybe
That's
I'm
their
the
idea.
hopeful romantic out of this whole thing, but that's my take.
They announced Joker 2, baby.
Yeah, I hope you're right, but I don't trust them at this point with it. So
Well, let's
like,
put it
I'm
this way:
very
the bar is so
skeptical right
low,
now.
it can only go up.
That's
What
not
if he
true.
morbs?
God damn it, Ian!
He's looking for the ancient lost solution to where vampires started, and he's searching out for Vlad Tepes, but he finds out suddenly along the way that it has become Morbin time, and he totally
I don't need it from
morbs
two.
out.
Like if it's gonna be Ian's thing, fine. Don't help him out, Mike. This is not right.
It's called dog.
The Island of
It's a
Dr.
thing.
Morbin. That's the title.
Fucking hate you. Andy, you got anything else to add for Indiana Jones 5? Or I'm moving on.
I agree with Mike that Last Crusade was the best one. Sean Connery as in the father role was extraordinary.
Yeah, we named the
Yeah.
dog Indiana.
I didn't hate the Crystal Skull, but it is by far the worst
Yeah.
Indiana Jones movie. It's still an Indiana Jones movie, and I did enjoy moments of it. It had its ridiculousness, yes, but
It pissed me off that to get the Blu-ray set, I had to buy that one too.
well, I
mean,
wanted
I
it,
couldn't
so.
just get the 3.
I mean,
It's
what you do
definitely
with
not
it
gonna
after you
get
buy it? If you
it's
burn the
definitely not
disc,
gonna
who
get
cares?
any plays
Yeah, but
other
I-
than like maybe one play for just to actually see it. But that's about
There
it,
you go.
know, like
Just check that box. It's been seen.
yeah.
All right, next one. This probably doesn't really apply to us, but I'm going to put it in here anyway. It was announced that a new animated series called Young Jedi Adventures is coming to Disney Plus and Disney Junior in the spring of 2023. It is created for preschoolers, early grade schoolers, and families. It will be set during the High Republic era.
What you guys
Follow-
wanted?
Yeah, that's the only reason it's on here. We'll follow younglings as they start their path to becoming Jedi Knights, cover topics of compassion, self-discipline, teamwork, patience, and friendship. Probably not something I will check out, but I also can't wait for the internet to just start bitching about how this show is so stupid it disrupts canon and all the other complaints that they throw at any other Star Wars content that comes out that isn't for them. But yeah, the High Republic era is an era I am very curious about, so I at least might check it out. I can't imagine these episodes will be long because kids' attention spans are not
I
very
can't
good
imagine
anymore.
it having any weight to canon whatsoever.
Yeah, that's what I would think. But you know the internet and the way Star Wars is with people, so It's gonna get hate
They
one
did
way or
the
the
same
other.
thing when like Pokemon introduced like the Pokemon teeth brushing thing that was really just about helping kids learn how to brush their teeth, but they made a big fucking deal about it, and it's what the internet does.
yeah, this
It's like
specifically
they're trying
says
to
it's
help
created for preschoolers, early grade schoolers, and families, and yet all the man babies on the internet are going to bitch about this show.
No,
Guaranteed.
because it'll be better than The Last Jedi.
Oh, God damn it, Ian. You're really, really trying to piss me off today, aren't you? You know all the right buttons to hit, and it's really making me angry. All right, anybody else got anything for this show? We'll move on.
No.
As long as it doesn't end how the younglings end in
That would be
Attack of the
amazing.
Clones.
That would be the best ending.
It would
Oh my-
be-
If it ran for like 200 episodes and then it ended on 201 with them all getting slaughtered, that
All
would
the,
be
like,
worth
life
it.
I
lessons.
would watch the entire 200 episodes just to see that last episode and understand
All the life
the
lessons you
pain.
get as a kid along the way, and then at the end it's just like, well, we're all going to die.
None
See
of it
ya.
matters.
Sometimes
because
it doesn't
super
matter.
Powerful motherfucker just decides to slaughter you bitches. That's what
and
it is.
you don't even have to show. You just have to show the one scene where the one kid's like, Master Anakin, and then you just see the lightsaber come on, and the kid's like, oh shit, and then the series ends.
That's like topical now.
The only thing that's going in its favor for that is that this takes place like 1,000 years before
a couple hundred.
The prequels.
High Republic's
a couple hundred.
Yeah, because Yoda.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Yoda's still in it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Yoda's
Yoda's
a part of the High
200.
Republic, but that's it.
Yeah, every season can be a century. It's fine. We'll do it fine.
Yeah,
Eventually, we'll get to the payoff Andy
wants.
wants.
Yeah.
I want to like commission somebody just to make like an animated kids show version of that scene and what led up to it, where it's like all happy and cheery, and then all of a sudden we just start to get to see kids chopped in half with lightsabers and
starring the Wiggles.
Clones just what?
The Wiggles. You don't know the Wiggles? Fuck off.
Like the band?
All right, Ian's showing his age now. All right.
It's like a okay, never mind.
They're a band and a TV show. Get over it.
All
right, moving on. Next one, Aspyr, the developers behind the upcoming Knights of the Old Republic remake for PS5 and PC, will be releasing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 on Nintendo Switch today, June 8th. They also were the ones to release OG Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast, and Star Wars The Force Unleashed on Nintendo Switch. Those 3 games are out already. So they've got some experience, I guess, bringing Star Wars games to the Switch. I have not played any of those. I think downloaded Jedi Outcast because I think it was on sale for like $5, and I've yet to try it on the Switch.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, you haven't played those? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I played it on PC actually when I had a laptop that was back in the day that ran that game. But I haven't played it since I downloaded it on the Switch to see how it feels and plays and stuff. But
gotcha.
Has anyone else? Like Andy, I know you have a Switch, right? Have you tried any of these Star Wars games on Switch or no?
I have not.
Okay, Mike, what about you? Have you tried any of these Star Wars games on Switch?
Those 2 specifically were on Xbox.
Right.
And I just bought them on Xbox, so no,
Okay.
I didn't also buy them on Switch. But I think, or Knights of the Old Republic translates better to Switch than perhaps some of the others because it's not as motion focused.
Yeah. Yeah, I still have a hard time playing like shooters and dual stick stuff on the Switch like that. So I'm curious how Jedi Outcast is going to play. But you're right. Yeah, the more turn-based stuff for Knights of the Old Republic probably plays better.
Yeah, that would be my thought. Like I've tried playing games like that on Switch, and it like on the handheld, it's not that great. And then if I'm gonna play it when it's docked and on the TV, I may as well just play it on Xbox.
Yeah, I gotcha.
You know.
Well, if anybody's looking for some good Star Wars games on Switch, check those out. Keep an eye out for them. Along with some upcoming LEGO sets from the Andor series and a LEGO BD-1 from Fallen Order, there will be a new LEGO Star Wars special coming to Disney+. This will be the LEGO Star Wars Summer Vacation. It hits Disney Plus on August 5th. And no, I don't think this is canon, for anyone wondering.
If they don't make a shot-for-shot remake of the holiday special, what are we doing?
Just
what are we
in
doing?
summer.
I'm
Just
still holding out hope.
It's not Christmas, it's summer.
That the Guardians of the Galaxy thing they're doing, the holiday special, is almost like that, but it's just Guardians.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still holding out hope that that's what they're doing with that.
Also, you can't prove Wookiee Life Day isn't in the summer.
That's fair. That is a good point.
Yeah, because
we don't know that it
winter
snows
here
on Kashyyyk.
might be summer on a different planet. We don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I enjoy the announcement poster for this because the beach ball looked like the Death Star.
Yeah.
That was enjoyable.
I mean, the LEGO stuff always has a good sense of humor. Like I've watched like the holiday specials that they've done. I think they've done like a Christmas one and did they do a Halloween one maybe too?
They might have. I thought the Christmas one was rather weird.
They're all weird, but at least I get a couple chuckles and laugh at them, so they're enough to check out once.
Yeah.
Next up, Star Wars Maestro Dave Filoni is working with Charles Murray to create a new animated anthology series called Tales of the Jedi. The series premieres in the fall of 2022, and according to Dave Filoni, it will follow 2 paths and 2 choices. One path traces Ahsoka and her origins, and the other path follows Count Dooku. And not just Count Dooku, but rather Count Dooku as he trained Qui-Gon Jinn. So they confirmed that Liam Neeson would be back to voice Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh,
and his son would be voicing a younger version of Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh, shit.
Interesting.
So I guess it's parallel stories of like Ahsoka's origin and then like how Dooku went to the dark side.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's going to be. I think they said 6 episodes. I don't know if those are the only two stories you're going to get for those 6 episodes. If we'll see other stuff, or if they'll just focus like other seasons on other people.
Did they say if Ahsoka is going to be Ashley Eckstein or Rosario Dawson?
I have not heard the voice, like if they're bringing anybody back to voice Ahsoka, because the screenshots they showed is a very infant Ahsoka. But they cast Janina Gavankar as Ahsoka's mother, the voice of Ahsoka's mother.
Okay,
who
so
was actually Iden Versio
young.
in Battlefront 2. That same actress.
So this is definitely an animated.
Animated, yes, yeah. They have a couple. They put a couple screenshots up of Ahsoka's mother and infant Ahsoka that they showed. So those are officially released. They're out on the Star Wars Twitter and stuff like that. So if you want to, I can't remember if I shared those on the socials or not, but they are out there if you're curious. Next up, they had a panel called The Mandalorian Plus, which featured a lot of the cast of The Mandalorian. It also features some new information announcements for the Ahsoka series with Rosario Dawson. So, Andy, I guess this is the one I was a little unsure if you wanted to hear, since I know you haven't finished Rebels, but there are some character announcements here.
Okay.
So, Rosario Dawson entered the stage with a familiar droid behind her, and that was Chopper from Star Wars Rebels.
Chop, chop.
So he will be making his live-action debut in the Ahsoka series, and not only that, but they also confirmed Natasha Liu Bordizzo will be playing a live-action Sabine Wren in the series.
Nice.
So the people at the panel were shown some sort of a sizzle reel for footage that teased some other familiar Rebels characters. I will not talk about them here. They are not officially announced. They were just shown in the trailer and not confirmed, but a lot of speculation is pointing to those characters already. And I'm sure probably Andy knows about as much as he wants to right now. So we're going to stop there. The only info we have about the Ahsoka series is the release is sometime in 2023. So we know Mandalorian Season 3 is in February. I don't know if it's going to be summer or fall for Ahsoka, but sometime later in the year, we will be getting the Ahsoka series.
There was 2 casting announcements that were official.
For Ahsoka?
Yes. Mina Massoud and Mary Elizabeth Winstead were officially announced there.
At the show?
Not at the show, but they've been announced officially.
Yeah, I think I remember. I think we talked about Mary Elizabeth
Winstead.
Yes, her. Josh's crush. I remember talking about her at one point being in Star Wars.
Yeah, she is going to be on that show. And
okay.
Mina Massoud is, you might know him as the guy who played Aladdin in the live-action Aladdin.
Yeah.
He has been announced for the show as well. No casting, no confirmation on who they're playing or anything, but they have been announced as appearing.
Boy, he sounds like he might be a good Ezra, huh?
If we had to pick, yeah.
Yeah, if I was going to pick somebody, yes, but he could be...
He's also been to prison in Hawaii?
Not Ezra Miller, son of a bitch.
Multiple times.
I was like, where are you going with that? I get it now. It took me a little bit.
Multiple times for poor Ezra Miller, man.
He's still going. So anyway, Andy, I mean, I know you haven't finished Rebels, but excited for this stuff to show up in Ahsoka?
Definitely. I definitely need to catch up to Rebels now.
Yeah, if there was ever a kick in the butt, you have until whenever this premieres to get yourself caught up.
Son of a...
Ian, I think you're making your way through the live action stuff, right, for Star Wars?
I'm done with The Mandalorian. Haven't started Boba Fett because I'm also supposed to be making my way through the MCU. So I just finished Black Panther and I'm 30-ish minutes into Infinity War. So we're finding our way around.
Okay. Do you have any desire to watch Rebels before Ahsoka? Or are you going to get to Ahsoka?
Well, how am I going to watch Rebels though? I got to watch Clone Wars.
I'm just trying to figure out
where
on your list all this stuff
where do I
falls.
put Bad Batch in? I already have the fucking Disney app trying to get me to watch TV shows for fucking Marvel. Where am I fitting any of this in, Brian?
You need to catch up. That's what catching up is about. Well, you need to drop something else for a little while so you can catch up on that, and you catch up on the other thing once you've caught up on that.
Ian, I have no problem with you waiting to watch the stuff, because I know you pretty much just ignore everything you're not watching. So I don't expect you to see any spoilers for Ahsoka or anything like that. I just figured you'd get to it maybe when you get to it, but I just didn't even know if it was on your list of stuff to get to.
I know that they fixed her Leku, so I am happy about that.
Okay. Does that mean you're going to watch it? Or
Oh,
no?
you mean
Like,
you're saying they fixed Ahsoka's Leku?
Yes, the live action one.
Yeah, I have not seen what they did with it, but yeah, it would be nice to see them
It's longer and looks more natural.
like it did in the show. Like it,
Better
like as
than
an
the show.
adult Ahsoka looked on Clone or on Rebels.
Yes.
Cool.
If she's in that, I don't know. Haven't
Yeah.
seen Rebels.
Yeah, she.
all right. Well, yes or no,
Yes.
Ian? Do you plan on getting to those animated shows or no?
I mean, there's the heat death of the universe, so we'll see.
All right, non-committal answer for me, and I still don't know what the hell he's doing. All right, last announcement that we're going to cover right now before we get to the trailers. Star Wars Visions, the 9-episode anime anthology that we talked about on the show last year, is getting a Volume 2, which releases in the spring of 2023. They did not announce if there would be any of the same teams working on the Volume 2, or if any of the stories will continue from Volume 1. All they did say was that they will feature creative teams from Japan, India, UK, Ireland, Spain, Chile, France, South Africa, and California.
Okay. There's definitely a few of
So
those.
not a
I
lot
would
of
love to
details,
see.
but it's happening. What was that, Mike? Sorry.
There's just definitely a few of those I would love to see continued.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, when we talked about it on the episode, which ones we wanted to see continue. So
Yep.
that Star Wars Visions episode we did when we talked about the show should still be up there in the rotation somewhere. So feel free to go back and revisit. I wish if I was on things, I would have had that episode number ready to go, but I'm not. So check out the back catalog for that one somewhere. It's out there.
212.
212, is that what you said?
Yes, that's what I said.
Okay, there you go. 212. Ian's on it. Oh, you know what? There is one other thing. So I guess if you
It's not
have any
212.
desire
it's
to...
in like the 230s or something. But
Oh, God damn it, Ian.
I just said a
Fucking-
number.
I thought you actually looked it up.
No.
I mean, it's
Um,
it's like less than a year ago at this point, or just about a year ago. Like it's not.
Yeah, all right. So
60
ignore
episodes
212. Go back and find it yourself. Don't trust Ian. Yeah, so one other thing. So if you want to check out Star Wars Celebration at some point, they announced when it's going to be next year. So next year, Star Wars Celebration 2023 will be April 7th to the 10th, but it will be in Europe. So if you want to travel across the pond to go to Star Wars Celebration, or if you already live there, hey, more power to you. Lucky you. You
I
guys
feel
can
like
get
that's
out and
why
see it.
it's every other year here. Is because they do here and then Europe, here and then Europe, and like,
I
go
thought they
back
were
and
doing
forth.
2 years in between at some point, but I mean, I think when they do annually, they try to do, because they did. I don't remember where it was in 2018. If it went overseas in 2018, or if they just
did.
didn't have it in some reason for 2018.
No, it was. It was in Europe.
Okay.
Like same
It's in
thing. Like,
Hanover.
they were doing the back and forth. That's probably
Um,
not correct, but
Andy, were you asking where in Europe?
Yes.
I don't remember where it was. They listed an event venue, so I don't know where that event venue is in Europe.
Were there any umlauts?
I don't think so.
Well, that narrows it down.
Someone can check my math and see if
it'll
it
be
says
in
something.
London at the Excel Exhibition Center next year.
Okay. Thank you.
Also,
So there you go.
episode
Something to look
240.
forward to. I don't
240.
know. Did you actually look that up? I don't know. I can't tell now. I don't know if I should trust
I
you.
looked it up this time. October
Okay.
17th, 2021. 1 hour, 56 minutes, 43 seconds.
All right,
Could be
that
making
sounds a
that
little
up,
bit
too.
right.
I think that sounds right. The date and the minutes.
Sure,
So
yeah.
there actually wasn't a 2018 though, but the last time
Okay.
it was in Europe was also at the Excel Exhibition Center in London.
All right, so they picked
That
a
was
venue they like.
2016. So it's been 7 years since it was in Europe, actually.
Okay. So yeah, Europe is due. So they're giving it to Europe for next year.
Is there a reason they're sticking to like English speaking Europe, you think? Like
No, because
of
the one before
cast?
that. Well, no, the one before that was in Germany in 2013. Last time they were in Europe, and then the last non-US one before that was Japan.
I was gonna say I thought they did Japan once,
So
but I didn't think Japan had a lot of Star Wars fans, so I was surprised that they actually did something over there.
it's their first and only event that they have ever held in Asia. So that might tell you a little bit about
Okay.
what the deal was with that.
All right. So let's get into the trailers. So we have trailers for Andor, Andor, Bad Batch,
Ando.
and Star Wars Jedi Survivor are the 3 trailers we're going to talk about for the back half of the show. We'll just start with Andor, since that was the first one I think that came up in Celebration. So, at the Lucasfilm panel, they gave us the trailer for Andor, which is the Rogue One prequel series about Diego Luna's character, Cassian Andor, and how he joins the rebellion. So, along with the teaser trailer, we have a release date where we will be getting the first 2 episodes of the series on August 31st on Disney+. So, after watching the trailer, Andy, what did you think of the trailer?
It generated excitement, I feel like. I don't know what's going to happen at all.
Yeah.
It looks like he was in a very poor area of the galaxy, and the Empire came in. And from just the voiceovers that you hear, it sounds like, there's already animosity there.
Yeah.
So it looked really interesting, but I feel like they flashed so many like characters at you that it was tough to really get a grasp on.
Yeah.
What it's doing, where it's going, what's happening.
Yeah, it's definitely like a teaser trailer in every sense of the word. There's really no sense of what the story is. Like, I don't feel like there's a lot of spoilery things in there, just to give you a taste of what this show could look and feel like.
Yeah, and he's in the sizzle reel for all of, I don't know, 7 seconds?
Andor true, himself? Yeah, they don't say Andor, or they don't show him very much, yeah.
No, he's like, yeah, you see him once hiding behind a wall, and then you're just like, oh, hey.
I feel like we see him, like, piloting something at some point, like, flying.
Oh, I must
like,
have
just a brief, like, that's literally just a flash, like, of him, like, oh, looks like he's trying to steer something.
Yeah. Mike, what did you think of the trailer?
You know what? There's a couple things that got me pretty excited. There's one lesser notable thing, and both of these are actors that you can see in the trailer. One is Christopher Fairbank. Do any of you know who Christopher Fairbank is?
No.
Can't say I do.
You might know him from Guardians of the Galaxy. He was the broker in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. The guy with the little shop who, like, has the good eyebrows.
The guy with the nice eyebrows.
Yeah. That is Christopher Fairbank. He is a very well-known, like, English actor that is really cool, and they don't even, like, focus on him at all, but he's in the background of a scene where it's like, if they got him for something, they got him to play a significant something.
Okay.
So that's cool to see that he's there. And the other much bigger and obviously more important one is Anton Lesser, who anybody that is a Game of Thrones fan would recognize as Qyburn. Just one of the best actors at playing somebody that just looks straight up evil the whole time. He's very good at playing like a knowledgeable evil character, like a smart evil. That he's very good at that. So I'm excited to see him in that role.
Nice.
Ian, you look like inquisitive. Do you know who I'm speaking of? Andy, I know. Brian, you did not watch Game of Thrones. But
yeah, it's over my head.
Remind me who Qyburn is?
Qyburn was Cersei's Hand of the King after she became official queen. Like, he's the weird guy that creates the zombie version of the mountain.
I
gotcha.
stopped watching by then, but I read.
I know exactly who you're talking about now.
He is so good at being just that smart evil dude. Like, just, he's good at that, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in this series.
Ian, what'd you think?
I mentioned this at the top. This looks like they took a TV thriller and said, slap some Star Wars on that bad bitch. Like, honestly, it just felt like, oh man, this is like a spy thing. I could see this on NBC. Oh, but it's Star Wars. Like, I don't know. It didn't really do anything for me. I still think it's super weird when in the trailers people are afraid of stormtroopers when they're baby back bitches that get overthrown by 3-foot tall bears. So I don't really get what the fear there is. I don't know. I mean, it's cool they're doing some Rogue One stuff, possibly again, like that kind of thing. Maybe they'll bring back some other characters from Rogue One eventually that didn't die or disappear, or
Be
I
cool to
don't
get
know.
Well,
like
it's
a
a prequel to
K2SO
Rogue One.
origin.
Is it? I thought it was a sequel.
No, prequel.
No, it's
Oh.
yeah,
Maybe they'll
because
bring
at
back
the end
some
of
Rogue
Rogue
One
One, he dies. Like they all die.
Been a while. Been a
Like
while.
all of them are dead at the end of Rogue One.
I thought just
Spoilers,
Bothans
my
died.
God.
Deal with it. If that's a spoiler for you, I'm sorry. It's years now. You can deal with it.
I don't know. It just again makes the universe still seem pretty small.
Well, I mean, it's yeah, we're getting a returning character, but yeah, we're fleshing out more of what they've done, I guess, prior to like we've only had one occurrence with Cassian. That was Rogue One.
So
Like, we've had 2 hours with him, kind of.
they say with Cassian for this like series, they say it's like his introduction on how he joins the rebellion.
I think so. Yeah.
Is that doesn't he say in the movie that he's been in the fight since he was 6 years old? Is that like a
No, but
big moment for him?
But he was against the Republic back then. He was part of the
Oh,
Confederate
okay.
systems.
Okay, I could see that. Yeah,
What?
I researched. I read
it's
his
a big
background.
line in the movie. Like it's a big moment. It's a
I know he says that. Yeah, I'm thinking like we're not seeing that in the trailer. Like I'm
Yes.
sure there's like kid characters of him at 6 years old, either running away from or being involved in the fight of like his home planet or something.
Throwing bottles and rocks at clone troopers.
Which,
Sure.
yeah, sure, we could see that. Yeah.
No, you could read it and see it. It exists.
All right, I believe you. Well,
And I don't believe in the Force because I'm not excited for this one.
I mean, I'm so
Um,
excited.
It's nothing compared to a good blaster.
I
Uh-huh.
I think Mike said, we know Alan Tudyk is cast in this series as well. So at some point, we're going to meet K2 again. He's not in the trailer, but and I don't even know if he's going to be in the first season. Like I think this actually got greenlit for a second season already too.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I would love to see the first interactions between them when K2 is still like Imperial controlled.
Oh
when
yeah,
he's not an ally yet. That would be really cool.
yeah, because we see a little bit of those droids in other places, and I'm trying to think where we just saw them at.
I mean, they're in
I think it was
Jedi Fallen
in-
Order.
Well, yeah, they're there.
fight
True,
one.
yeah, you're right. I think they show up in a flashback for during Boba Fett too.
Oh,
And
okay.
they're shown that they are like a menacing force that the Empire actually used. So it'd be nice to see K2 actually do some damage. I think the first time we see him.
I mean, he does some damage in Rogue One, and yeah, also like Fallen Order, he's a boss. Like the K2, like that droid is an actual boss in that.
Oh
game.
right, yeah.
So it's something. It's a significant thing.
I am interested to see too. Like I'm glad they brought back. I don't remember her name, but the actress that plays Mon Mothma. Like I actually want to see what she does and more of her. Like you could. Mon Mothma trying to play the games in the Senate, but at the same time, like funding and supporting the rebellion, like that to me is interesting. I want to see how that goes.
Yeah, that would have like some serious like the Leia book Bloodlines. That
Oh,
would
right,
be, like,
yeah.
It could like play a little bit on that and give you a little bit of that in kind of live action. That would be really cool.
See,
Yeah.
what I want is them to, if you're going to slap Star Wars on something, slap Star Wars on Mad Men. Let me see them making Star Wars ads. Let
You
me
just want
see
John Hamm in Star Wars, don't
the
you?
John Hamm ad executive addicted to death sticks.
Nice.
Anybody got anything else for Andor? We'll move on to
So
the next one.
the first impression that I had from Andor was oh my god, we're gonna get to see Diego Luna take on espionage in Coruscant, and this doesn't even show that planet on here. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping that eventually we get to see him doing some pretty awesome like Coruscant espionage type stuff.
More spy stuff.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
feel like Coruscant would be the perfect planet for something like that, just because of like it's all populated, it's all
Yeah.
Is that the Guy Ritchie episode?
That's going to be the Boba Fett crossover at level 1313 of Coruscant.
the one game that I've always wanted that never happened. All right, last call for Andor. Anything else? Nothing? All right. Another trailer we got was for the second season of Bad Batch. So we got a slightly vague release date for this one, fall 2022. And again, maybe discussion for this might be a little reserved. I know Andy and Ian have not seen the show. Mike, I don't even know. Did you get around to the first season of Bad Batch? I can't remember.
Couple
Okay.
times, actually.
So we'll be trying to stay, for the most part, spoiler free for this discussion, just for them. But Ian, I'm curious, having not seen the first season, what did you think of the show or the trailer?
First thing I noticed was they used the animation style I'm not a big fan of from like Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I'm not big into that. I'd like regular 2D animation. I was curious why it seems like there's a bunch of these rebel groups. They never seem to coordinate or work together. They're just all off fighting the Empire in their own way. It's almost like if you brought them all together in some type of confederated systems or something, it'd work better to fight the Empire. I don't know. Maybe have worked before. Anyways, I guess it's just like, is it just the A-Team, but they're clone troopers? They go
More
off
or
and
less,
do missions
yeah.
for people?
Yeah.
Is one of them allergic to milk? Like,
No?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's the A-Team, but yeah, kind of. Like, yeah, it does kind of fit a little bit.
and personally, I mean, I get some people, I might get canceled for this. I don't think Wookiees should hold lightsabers.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
That's how I feel personally about it.
Well,
I think.
this was your last episode. I'm sorry, sir. You're gone. That's it.
Sorry, Ghost in the Shell fans. I just
So
don't
you
think
just don't think
Wookiees-
Wookiees should have the Force? Like, I don't understand.
Well, that's established a long time before this, though.
I don't care. I don't think Wookiees should be Force users or wield lightsabers. Either or. Because as we know, Finn is not a Force user, but he wields a lightsaber. We all know that's
Right.
very established. So we know in
Well,
canon,
established that he uses a lightsaber. I don't
Yeah,
know
until
whether
it was
or not
retconned
his
later.
Force sensitivity is
Non-sensitive.
established.
so yeah,
I'm
Wookiees
saying
have
it's not
claws.
established one way or the other. Is what I'm saying. It's not guaranteed. It's like it's not defined in a.
Wookiees have claws.
exact
Just
manner.
cleave through them. That's the whole point. I don't care if it's a child Wookiee. Cleave.
I feel like, what's more badass than a
Well-
Wookiee? A Wookiee with a lightsaber.
I
No, because
guess.
then it doesn't mean anything. Like, you know what I mean? The light,
Well, so here's the thing.
it's like slapping a lightsaber on, like, Bruce Willis. Like, he doesn't need it.
I mean, I'd still take it, though. I'd still watch it.
I meant Jet Li. I don't know why Bruce Willis came out.
Still take it. I don't care. Anything
Jackie
is better with a
Chan.
lightsaber.
Jackie Chan.
So-
like, they don't need it.
Morbin is better with a lightsaber. I'll even give you that one.
So I guess the question I have is like, is it spoilery to talk about the Clone Wars at this point? I mean, I'm not talking about like the newest season that came out like 2 years ago, but I'm talking about like where we get our origins of Wookiees as Force sensitive.
Oh yeah, because we got an episode of when they were looking for their
Crystals.
Crystals.
crystals. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little baby, but kid Wookiee that's out there going with the other Jedi children. That's the Padawans looking for his Kyber crystal.
I kind of
But
wonder
again,
if that's the same.
Ian hasn't
character.
seen that show.
Yeah, but that's just Rudolph. That's just the plot of Rudolph.
But what I'm saying is like it would be cool if it's the same character.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Which I imagine it is.
Yeah,
Did
Like,
he
I don't
ever-
know why
did he
they
have
put
a
it in
name?
there.
I can't remember if he had a name in the episode.
most
he had
most
a name,
Wookiee
but I don't
names are
remember it.
very like Chewbacca is one of the more palatable terms to actually speak. As far as a lot of them are, kind of.
Because, like, Bad Batch opens with Order 66. So this takes place very short time after the Clone Wars ends. Like,
Right.
the Clone Wars animated show ends.
Right. And,
So
and
with that character
these
showing up
ones,
in the
like-
Clone Wars, it's very simple to be that same character.
Right, and the Bad Batch, like they weren't chipped or whatever because they were the Bad Batch or whatever, so they weren't treated
Yeah.
the same way. Yeah, that'd be cool. Sorry, you got on this Wookiee thing and just had to like it is canon. Wookiees have lightsabers. Like,
And I'm
are
saying they
Force
should.
sensitive.
I don't care if
Well-
it's canon. I'm saying they shouldn't.
Too late. Too bad. Sorry.
I mean, just
Yeah, it's
like
kinda
The
like
Last
you just kinda gotta
Jedi
deal
is
with it.
canon but shouldn't be.
Okay, well that's your opinion.
Oh,
And
man,
you're
you're going to
entitled to
alienate
an
two people
incorrect opinion.
in this episode. Just wait until you hit Andy's buttons, too. You're going to have a trifecta going on here.
I'd
Mike,
be
what do you
shocked
think
if he could hit my buttons.
Some
Mike, what do you
Irish.
think of the Bad Batch trailer?
So there's a couple things. I only really wrote 2 notes because I knew we were trying to keep this spoiler free. Okay, so there's a character in Bad Batch named Omega. I am really looking forward to seeing where that story goes and what her future may hold. I'm really looking forward to that. Like, her whole arc is really interesting to me, and what it means and what it causes and who she actually is, all that. Very interested.
Yeah, there's a specific twist with that character in the first season that is that I'm surprised they haven't addressed in something else, but I guess if we want the continuation of that, we're going to have to watch season 2.
Exactly. And that's why they haven't addressed it.
Yeah.
Because they want you to watch
So,
season 2.
yeah, they've got me. Yeah, I'm in for that. Yes.
Me too. The other, from this trailer, what we're seeing here, that there looks like they're going to explore is the actual birth of the Empire and how the Empire originally forms and how things start to fall in place with clones versus stormtroopers versus all this stuff happening early on in the Empire with these clones that, you know, maybe not all of them are so on board with what the Empire wants to do, which is why they end up with people that can't hit a target 10 feet away. Because, I mean, that's very established, is that, like, stormtroopers are terrible soldiers and that clone troopers are extremely good soldiers. So it's, at some point there becomes a divergence in using clone troopers for the Republic that becomes the Empire into, we now need recruits. And it looks like this may explore that, as well as Andor. I didn't want to talk about it when we were talking about Andor because I figured it tied into both, but both of them look like they might explore this origin.
Isn't the current canon just most of them died in the Clone Wars?
No.
No?
You mean the clone troopers?
Yes.
No.
I think we're meant to think that, and I don't know if it's, at least this was my always headcanon that made sense to me, was the clone troopers always had growth accelerators in them. So in the 20 years between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, the clone troopers died off.
Yeah.
Like there was something in their genetics that they just died somewhere in the middle. And at the point that those troopers were starting to peel off and die, the Empire had to recruit anybody and everything to become their policing force, which is why you get people that suck, because there's just random ass people suited up in armor because they want to feel like a badass. And they just can't hit shit.
Yeah, because there's no military training in the past.
Well, maybe not enough.
Not the same as the clone troopers went through. Not
Yeah.
the same as, like, they were genetic clones of the best bounty hunter in the galaxy that were then taught from the time they were born.
Is he that good, though?
Per the explanation of the clone troopers,
best in the
he's
galaxy
supposed to be
does
that
not
good.
mean the best fighter in the galaxy. He's the best bounty hunter. Okay, there's a difference. At that time, he's the best bounty hunter in the galaxy, and they're his clone, and they're trained from birth to be soldiers. Whereas picking up some guy off the street who's in need of a job and saying, "Hey, Han Solo, huh? You want to be a pilot? Come on in."
Yeah, that's what the rebels did.
Have you watched
out.
Solo? No.
No.
Well, that's what they do to Han Solo. The Empire actually takes him on in that movie. Like, oh yeah, sure, come on as a pilot, as an adult. They're like, yeah, sure. Just anybody willing to join. They're like, yeah, sure, go ahead, throw on a stormtrooper outfit.
I'm surprised it wasn't mostly conscripts.
I think there's that too. I think there's conscripts and there's optional joining.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just like they know they need the numbers. Like the Empire needs the numbers to police the galaxy, so they just start recruiting or you know, enslaving, basically just people to be stormtroopers.
Conscripting and enslaving is that's a synonym. They mean the same thing. It's,
then yeah,
one is when you're talking about enslaving a soldier, that's conscripting.
One's legal.
One's legal because the government that's enslaving the soldier calls it legal. That's the only difference there.
No, I guess the Geneva Conventions in space, the Space Geneva Conventions.
Yeah, the Space Geneva Convention.
Andy, what did you think of the trailer?
Mostly confused about the trailer. That didn't dissuade me from wanting to watch it. It actually made me want to watch the original season of the Bad Batch.
All right.
So
I
feel like it did a good job of, like, I want to see this. It looks pretty cool. And I really did enjoy the Clone Wars, which I haven't even watched, like, the newest Clone Wars season.
Oh my god.
You got a lot to catch up on, my friend.
Yeah, I do.
Did you finish Rebels yet?
No, we've talked every time this comes up. We know he stopped at the end of season 2.
Well,
That's
yeah,
as far as he's ever gotten.
I'm just asking again. Like, I'm getting an update on the no.
Nope.
I'm just
No,
making sure
yeah.
we keep the no consistent. Okay.
So I would really like to catch up on my Star Wars animated series. So
Okay.
I
I
still
do
need to watch
think-
Visions even. So
Well, that's short. That's not
yeah.
like several seasons like some of the other stuff is. Like,
I
that's
think,
9
like,
episodes. I think is all that.
For my opinion, I think out of the animated series we got Bad Batch, Rebels, and Clone Wars. I think my ranking is Rebels is my favorite, Clone Wars is number 2, Bad Batch is probably my third. It's not to say Bad Batch is bad. I just think the other two are that much better.
And have more
Okay.
than one season.
Well, I think
Yeah, maybe it's that. Maybe there's just more content out there for that. So eventually, like, even if it starts a little slow, they eventually hit their stride and really get me invested. I think
Because-
that happened with both of those shows.
Yeah,
for
Well,
sure.
that,
I was
that
gonna say
Clone
the
Wars
first
movie
4
wasn't good.
no.
Yeah.
The first 4 seasons of Clone Wars are okay.
Yeah.
The last 3 seasons of Clone Wars are fantastic.
Yeah.
So I watched the Clone Wars using the StarWars.com like chronological order,
Yeah.
and I feel like I liked it a lot better than my brother who watched it the Netflix order.
Okay.
Yes.
And he was kind of like, "It's okay. It jumps around a lot, so it's."
Oh, it
and
does.
I'm like,
if you watch,
I'm
that
like,
order.
well, if you watch it like this way, and he's like, "Holy shit, I didn't know you could do that."
Well, I feel like that's what
So-
like the seasons that Netflix did, because Netflix made like what seasons 5 and
6. Just 6.
just 6. So I feel like what they did was they created like chronological stories within that season, where you got like 4 episodes in a row that were one story. And I feel like they started doing that before Netflix. Like, I want to say season 5 started doing that, where you got like several episodes in a row that followed the same story, and then it ended, and they went to another story, and it ended, and they went to another story, and it ended, and they just all tied together over the course of the season. All those stories like kind of mattered to one another. Whereas the first 4 seasons felt like, oh, we're going to be on, Mon Calamari, this planet, or like this episode, and next episode we're going to be on Mustafar, and the next episode we're going to Geonosis, and it just that's the all over the place thing that your brother was probably
Yeah.
talking about. Like it just it was everywhere, and I feel like they definitely tightened it up in the last few seasons.
So when I went to Rebels, I got really excited about Rebels because I freaking loved it, and I think I was actually caught up until I either lost. I stopped paying for cable or something. I wasn't able to watch like the 3rd season. Then I got behind the 4th season.
That's right, because it was like on like Disney XD or something like that.
It was
wasn't
something-
like some.
Yes,
That's
it
what
was
it was
something
cable only
ridiculous.
channel.
It was fucking terrible.
I had to buy
But-
them like when the seasons released to buy is when I ended up watching this, because I wasn't paying for Disney XD because that was the only
Right.
thing I wanted to watch from it. So I would just buy the season when it came
Yep.
out.
Same here. But I was really into it. I even went out and got all the Kanan Jarrus comic books and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
even got like the limited edition covers and stuff. So
Nice.
I was pretty into it. Rebels, I'd say, is probably my favorite. So
Yeah, Rebels.
even though
is-
I've only seen half of it.
You've seen the best episode. That's it. I don't want to discourage you from continuing, but that end
I
of season
disagree.
2 is the best episode.
I disagree. I think there's
Really?
some really good episodes at the end. Yeah.
No, I think there's really good episodes at the end, but I still think like that last episode of season 2. For me,
I mean, it's top 3, I think, for the series for me, but I definitely think there's a couple other ones that I'd put above that. Yeah.
okay. That's fair.
It's not gonna hold me back.
No, don't let it hold you back. The series overall gets better. I just think like personally, I think that's the pinnacle of like.
I feel like we're going to have a party for you, Andy, whenever you finish Rebels, like just
Yeah.
to congratulate you for finally making it through.
or we just strap
Now-
him
now
to
I
a
have
chair and make
motivation
it
to do
happen.
it. So I mean, thank you, Brian.
Yeah. You are welcome, sir. At the very least, I will get you to watch these goddamn shows.
We will have a party with all the ecto cooler and Lunchables and I don't know whatever
Fudgy the
old
Whale.
90s snacks we can find.
What did you say?
Fudgy the Whale. It's a cake.
Who is that? Okay, I don't even remember that at all.
What are you talking about?
Boomers.
Fucking Gen Z, man.
You know Gen
Um,
Alpha's starting soon?
Oh, God.
What? You know what? Never mind. Continue.
2025.
Can't wait.
They're already saying when the next generation starts.
No, I think it already did. I think 2025 is Gen Beta. I can't remember now which it is. Could you imagine being born a beta?
I was gonna say that would make a lot of sense for your generation, but it is what it is.
Any last thoughts for Bad Batch season 2?
How many are there?
What seasons of Bad Batch?
No. Bad Batch guys. How many
5.
like clones?
There were 5.
Do they explain why they're the like? Do
Yes.
they get like?
Yes.
Is it just the turtles?
No.
Okay.
No,
Is it-
no,
is it-
no, it's
is
not
it-
the turtles.
Well, I'm thinking like there's a tech guy, there's the big strong guy, like there's
Oh,
the
the
leader, like
reason-
they're
No, yeah, like they might
So
have
it's the
like
Planeteers.
roles similar to the turtles, but they're not made the way.
Wait, is
the
there a
turtles are
monkey?
made.
Heart.
God damn it!
That kid rules. Oh.
All right, moving on. Last one. We got a trailer for EA and Respawn sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. The title of the game is Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It will continue Cal Kestis' journey. Release date for now just says 2023. And I know for a fact Ian is not crazy about this title. So what do you think of this game and this trailer?
So, is it Star Wars Jedi Survivor? Doesn't matter. Title sucks. This is one of the worst named video games of all time. This is up there. This is up there as one of the worst.
Is there 2
named.
colons in the title? Is it?
I
like
have not seen 2 colons, no.
Oh,
But that's how it would be though, because that's how you would set up that title. Like either way,
I'm just
title
wondering
sucks.
if they put 2 colons in the advertising. That would be ridiculous.
I know.
I don't think they
are
put
you-
any colons in the like. At least the logo for the thing says Star Wars, and then Jedi's pretty big, and then Survivor I think is
See?
bigger.
You could feed it in there. Just 4 BB-8s worth of colons in there. So-
BB-8s.
So these are implied colons from Ian. Got it. Go ahead.
Well, I got to read the press release to double check. Anyways, so this showed no gameplay, which I hate. I don't like game trailers with no gameplay, especially when these cutscenes are so pre-rendered. There's no way in fuck they're running on modern hardware. Like there's no you ain't seeing this. This ain't coming out. And then it ends with some Cloud Strife motherfucker in a tube about to morb out. Like, come on! It's not morbid time. It's Cloud Strife time. Like, what are we doing here?
It's Cloudin time.
Exactly.
I hate it. I
Put
hate
Cloud
everything
in
about
Smash.
it. I hate it so bad. I kind of want to say let's keep a tally on how many times you say Morbin, but that's just going to encourage you to say Morbin more. God damn it!
3, because comedy's in 3s, bitch.
You definitely said it twice there, so you've gone over your 3 limit for sure.
This is the segment. The comedy.
Oh, so
three
three different
structure.
segments. Okay.
Comedy structured. Anyways, I think it could be cool. I'm not sure. I didn't play the first game, so I don't know if it. I'm assuming it was set up for a sequel because it's a video game, and they kind of
Yeah.
all are. Even
Yeah.
like Horizon Zero Dawn, which I think had a pretty good story and had no need for a sequel. They immediately ended the like post-credit scene with like, "Fucking sequel coming, guys." So I'm not
If it
surprised. But
sells, it'll have a sequel. Like that's
Yeah.
pretty much like if it sells, they'll do it.
I mean, the one cool thing, I've mentioned this on the podcast before during video games, is Respawn has a different development cycle than other studios where they, before coming up with a game, do a lot of prototyping on gameplay to try and find a cool mechanic or loop before they start developing the game around it. I'm going to assume they kept that up for this game and then decided, oh, this was a really cool thing we came up with. Oh, we could fit this into like a Star Wars thing. I'm assuming that's how it went. And if it is, it should be pretty cool, I would think.
Mike, I know you're the Souls type guy. What do you think? I know you played the first one. You played Fallen Order.
Oh yeah, I played through it a few times.
So you excited for this one? What did you think of the trailer?
So the trailer doesn't really tell us a whole lot. It's really like to me, like the trailer's just like images, things. Like yeah, we know the main character's still alive. No shit. Like to me, it doesn't really give you a lot to go on. The first game to me was good enough. I don't feel like I feel like it was a step in the right direction, but it felt compared to like if we're gonna compare it to Souls games, which is what it was trying to emulate. It felt clunky by comparison. So like Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Elden Ring, they all feel smooth compared to what I felt with Fallen Order. Fallen Order, the parrying system, the combat system, it all felt like a little clunky. That's the best way I can put it. Movement in that game felt great. But the actual combat of like parrying and swinging your lightsaber and fighting felt clunky. Like that's the best word I can put for it. Compared to the others, it felt off. It didn't feel as smooth and as seamless to do what you wanted to do at the time you wanted to do it. It felt like it was more dependent on, I don't know, like it just felt off compared to the others. It didn't feel as precise.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing some new bosses. It's Star Wars, it's Souls. You're taking two of my favorite things and putting them together. So I'm gonna definitely be into it. It's just one of those things where like I want it to be better than it was last time.
Which you'd think if they're making a sequel, hopefully they got some improvements in there too from the first
Not
to the
every
second.
sequel's good though. So
True. I said hopefully.
Yeah.
I said hopefully.
Titanfall 2. Better than the first one.
disagree hard, but move on.
Twisted Metal 2 better than the first one.
Andy, what'd you think? I know. Have you got around to Fallen Order or no?
I have not. I watched my brother play a few levels though, and it looked really awesome. I'm intimidated by it, and I got we went on together for a copy, and we just figured we would switch it when he was done with it and whatnot. So I have the copy now, but I loaded it onto my PS5, and I still haven't played it. Just
Gotcha.
because
Okay.
I'm still, it's part of my backlog and whatnot. So
So something
Add it to
it
the list.
has that other Souls-like games do not have is a difficulty setting. So you can make your life easier so you can play through and get the story and the experience without
Does it have
the
Bloodhound?
frustration. No. There was no poison swamps. That's a plus for this game, actually, over some Souls games. There was no poison swamps.
Andy, is it something you'll dive into anytime soon, or is it just gonna wait? Would you do Fallen Order first or Rebels first? Which is higher on your list?
ooh,
I
probably
didn't mean to
probably
catch you off guard.
probably Rebels first. I would
Okay.
say, just because it's more mindless. You can
Yeah.
just sort of put it on and be like, wee, instead of like, oh god, this boss is gonna mac the shit out of me, and run away, and I can't play video games before I go to bed, because I'm sort of amped by the time.
All the adrenaline starts
Yeah,
flowing.
I'm like,
It
oh
does.
god, that fucker. Yeah. I
He's
can't
not
do
wrong.
it. So it's
You gotta
tough.
cool
And,
down.
it's tough to play video games when you come up from work because, you eat dinner and stuff, and then you only have a few hours before you have to go to bed and whatnot. So it's just
Yeah. All right. Well, having not played the first one, or at least seen a little bit of the first one, what did you think of the trailer?
I think it looks really cool, and it makes me excited to play the first one.
Okay. Yeah, I have said it repeatedly on the show. The Souls type games are not usually my cup of tea. I gave it a try because it's Star Wars, so I did play Fallen Order. I've only gone through it once. I've had the temptation to try to go back and play it again.
So it was a good enough game.
I think so. I think the story is really what pulled me through. As
Well-
frustrating as some of the Souls elements of just the boss fights that I endlessly die over and over and over again.
That's the fun part.
See, that's the shit that I just why am I putting my time in this? I've wasted 2 hours and not gotten any progress further in this game. That's the stuff where I'm I just need to stop and walk away. But the story hook was enough to want me to keep going, to just see where the story went, which is enough of a draw for me to play this one too.
And that's a reason why, a lot this, I believe Fallen Order has it, if I remember correctly. It's been a while. That's 2 years ago or something. But it was New Game Plus is always an option where you start with all the shit you already had.
Yeah, I think they put that in after the fact, maybe. I don't know if it was there to begin with, but I think it's there
Right.
now, yeah.
So you can go back and play through with all your powers and shit all fully leveled and stuff like they were at the end of the first playthrough.
But
Yeah.
doesn't it up the ante on the difficulty?
A little bit. It's not at the end of the game, it'll feel like the end of your first playthrough. It'll feel the same, but the beginning of the game, you'll just be destroying
Curb stomping?
everything.
I love curb stomping in video games. that's all I ever wanted. When
Well, it's all-
Destiny is just to log into a fucking Destiny thing and curb stomp the shit out of some dregs. Fine,
Well,
but it never happened. And fuck you, Destiny.
that's the thing that they do with New Game Plus is it's all percentage based. So when you come in and you're dealing say 3,200 damage per hit, and you're coming into something that originally had 1,500 health, and it gets a percentage increase of, say, 30%. Well, that you're still going to kill it in one shot. But the thing at the end of the game that has 80,000 health, that's a big difference. Does that make the way that New Game Plus works? It's all percentage based, so it
Okay,
you feel really powerful. Whereas in your first playthrough, you weren't dealing 3,200 damage a hit; you were dealing 70 damage a hit. Now you're able to just walk through like you're a god through the first 3/4 of the game.
Then you throw Kurt Angle in there, and you only got a 30% chance of winning.
And then you have a milk truck beer bath thing or something that happened to Kurt Angle at one time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's over my head.
Yeah, the crossover just confused me. But, okay.
You suck.
Ian, I don't
Nobody else is
remember
gonna
if
do it with me.
Ian, did you say you played this game or were looking to play this game? Any interest in playing this game or no?
Top of this, I said I had not played it.
Okay.
I never said I would not play it. It's
Okay.
on the list and stuff, but I am already making my way through regular Dark Souls, so that's more higher priority to get through.
Okay.
And as
How
you might
far
have
have you
guessed,
made it?
I'm in Blighttown.
Oh, you're in Blighttown. Okay.
It sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. Blighttown sucks.
But I mean, I'll get to it eventually. I think I will also get to Rebels first, though.
Well, we'll have a party for you too when you get there.
Is there still a googly eye shortage?
We'll make sure we stock up for your party.
Hopefully the NSA doesn't pick up on all our rebellion parties.
I'm not saying that Ian is definitely going to get married someday or not going to get married, but if you get married someday, I am getting bags full of googly eyes for everyone to throw at you like rice.
Oh, yeah. That's in
just-
the plan.
It's part of it. It's happening.
And we have to make sure we unpeel the backs of all of them, so when we throw them, they stick to him.
You
as
can
he's
be in
walking
charge
out.
of unpeeling the backs of thousands of googly eyes.
That's what conscripts are for.
That would just be
yeah,
like a
sure.
giant googly eye ball.
Yeah, it would.
Like,
It would just stick
a
together.
giant ball. Yeah, like the Pee Wee Herman rubber band ball. It would just be like that, except like googly eyes. All
Oh, yeah,
stuck to
it's
each
like,
other.
don't dress up. Your costume will be provided.
All right, so I think what we'll end with is we'll go around the thing you're most looking forward to out of the Star Wars announcements we covered on the show. Does anybody know what they want? I don't know if I'm afraid to call on somebody yet because I don't know if you're thinking about what we covered or if you need the rundown again. I can give you the rundown.
The Ahsoka series.
Okay.
That's my answer, 100%. The Ahsoka series.
Ian?
The most unique thing almost on this list, because that stuff that's not as really like just direct sequel or slapping Star Wars on something, is Visions. So I'm excited to see what another thing of Visions is, because I think the first one was really cool.
Yeah, that's on par for you. I think we should have guessed that one.
I agree, though. That would be second for me, I think.
Okay, nice. Andy, what do you think?
I am very excited about this Dooku training.
The Tales of the Jedi.
Training my favorite Jedi of all time, Qui-Gon Jinn. So I'm
Yeah.
pretty excited about that.
I figured I had you with Liam Neeson coming back for Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. You mentioned Qui-Gon Jinn, and I'm just like, I'm in.
We get to find out where he got the particular set of skills.
Yeah, I think I'm with Mike. Ahsoka for me. I mean, you start bringing Rebel stuff into Ahsoka, and I mean, I was excited for Ahsoka as it is. Just letting Dave Filoni play with this character that he's created and enjoyed for years now.
Decades.
Yeah. Spearheading the series, bringing in characters from another series that he helped create. Like this is on brand for me. I am here for all of that. So yes, that's what I'm most looking forward to.
And on that note, like I would say, like especially because Rosario Dawson killed it as Ahsoka, I was worried about that going into like the announcement that she was going to be the live action Ahsoka. It's like, is she going to get it right? She's not Ashley Eckstein, but I understand that Ashley Eckstein is not a live action actress. Like I get that, and I'm fine with it. And Rosario killed it, and because she killed it,
I'm
like,
definitely anxious to see what they do with more of her.
Yeah.
Like I definitely want to see where all that goes. Yeah, see what Rosario does. What they I want to see some more live action fight sequences and stuff with Ahsoka. I think that'd be cool.
Oh, definitely.
All right, well I guess that's it for us. If you've enjoyed the show, please support us. Leave a 5-star rating and review. Give us a share on social media. Be sure to follow, subscribe to the show. We're on Spotify, iTunes, Google, Anchor, Stitcher, Amazon. Hopefully anywhere you're finding podcasts, you can find us. As always, check us out on Facebook. Search Bry Guy into Super Friends or go to facebook.com/Bry Guy Super Friends. You can send us questions, comments, topic suggestions, any of that stuff there. Try to email me, bryguysuperfriends@gmail.com. I won't check it. It works. It'll get mail, but it'll sit there forever. Hit us up on Twitter @BGSuperFriends. That I will see. That we can respond to. You can follow me on Twitch @Jedi Bry Guy, Jedi with an I, Bry with a Y. If we do any more live streams with our trivia questions that we did last time, which was pretty fun, that's still up there on the page too. So if you haven't watched that and want to go check out the highlight, that is up there. But if you ever want to see me randomly play games every now and again, that's on there too. But that's it. So on behalf of Andy, Ian, Mike, and myself, thank you for listening, and may the Force be with you.